Mahesh, we can start. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejas Vinavati Tamas Mavit Vishavahe. Om Shahanti Shahanti Shanti.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om. Hello to everybody. I would presume that all of you know why I'm here, because Janki ji is conducting elsewhere, and she has requested me to step in for the 5 weeks that she is not here. I would not want to directly impinge on her continuity and flow. So we have 5 weeks. We are discussing renunciation. So let us see what we can do by revisiting some concepts and looking at it from different and perhaps some practical perspectives. Also, during these classes, if anybody has some clarifications to ask with respect to things you have already done, you're welcome to table them or post them, and we'll try and answer those questions. So before I start, does anybody have any questions? So I have one, is renunciation is a broad spectrum term, but when you distill it, it boils down to simple concept. So my question to you is, what is your take on renunciation? You don't have to give elaborate answer, but how does it speak to you, or what aspect of it speaks to you, is my question. What is renunciation?
It's a state of being where you can see things for what they are.
If you are capable of seeing things as they are, it is objectivity. What is the renunciation angle in it? You're right. See, renunciation is a 360-degree benefit. So, but you must understand where renunciation fits into that observation. So, ability to see things as they are, as opposed to how you would like them to be, is objectivity. What is the renunciation element in that? My question.
It is only attained.
No, 1 minute.
Okay.
Who is the gentleman who gave the answer?
It's me, Deepraj.
Sangeeta. Huh? Sangeeta. Your name is Sangeeta.
Deepraj.
Sorry?
Deepraj.
It's
It's
the person who is Sorry, this camera is.
Okay.
Who's speaking, please?
He's offline.
Mahesh, who's speaking? I'm sorry, I'm a
Deepraj.
little confused.
Deepraj.
Deepraj is speaking. Okay, I got Deepraj. There's so many names there, but only one face. Okay, Deepraj. Yes, yes, Deepraj. What you say is correct. So, what is the renunciation angle in it?
We can only see things for what they are when we don't have a desire for them. So it is only after we have given up the desire for the world, we can see the world for what it is.
If that's what you believe, it's fine. It's a little too high for us. Can you just scale it down? Answer is correct, fine. But although this is a philosophy class, it will help us if we can bring it down to brass tacks. Then it's easier. If you're able to see the world for what it is and not overvalue it, not devalue it, and relate to it as it is, it's wisdom, it's objectivity. What is the renunciation angle? What did you have to do? What is the hurdle you have to overcome to see that? My question. Somebody can help.
For example, when I was in 10th grade, the 10th grade examination was so overwhelming for me, to the point that I couldn't really gauge what its importance actually is. But now that I don't have a desire for it anymore because I've already crossed that stage in my life, I can see that exam for what it is.
That angle of renunciation is that when you grow in higher wisdom, you shed your lower immaturity. That is the principle of renunciation. Renunciation is actually, the word means shedding. The word means letting go. To renounce something is to let it go. But there is a method of letting go. You can't let go something if that is important to you now. If that is the source of your happiness now. If it's source of your happiness now, you can't let it go. You can only let it go if you escalate it to a better level of experience. When you escalate to better level of experience, you let go of this. It doesn't bug you. So that is an important aspect of renunciation. Classical example of that is what? Classical example. How many people have come to the academy, visited? Even if you have not come to the academy or visited, you are aware of its schedule and its functioning. So how is it that youngsters who are 20, 21, mid-20s, early 30s, prime of life, they're able to spend 3 years over here without holiday, without weekend, without external visit, very, very reluctant permission for family. And if they come, their family must learn how to behave itself. There are no privileges given over here. The family has to subordinate itself to the schedule over here. All that is there. How is it possible to maintain that without the participants, without the students becoming frustrated? This question you must ask. Their own brother or sister or friends, they say, okay, I appreciate you're going there for 3 years, but what are you doing? How can you survive like that? It's all right for 1 day, 2 days, 5 days. How do you survive? Why is it they don't get frustrated? And if they get frustrated, they will go. But there is nowhere in the whole world where a teaching program requires installation and isolation for 3 years, only entry, no exit. No weekend, no vacation, no picnic, no nothing. Same thing again and again, again and again. And how is it that it is not looked upon as boring and a drudgery and a life sentence you have signed up for? Now you have to survive the sentence and then go. How is it is not looked upon like that? I'm asking.
Because they have got higher ideal, they are attached to higher things.
It's not that they have higher ideal. Of course, they have higher ideal, no doubt. But the program is such that the mind is elevated to the joys and benefits of discipline and cooperation and study. So they are exposed to the joy of study for its own sake, exposed to the joy of questioning and getting intelligent answers. They're exposed to the joy of discipline, reaching out and cooperating. So learning is a joy unto itself. Cooperating is a joy unto itself. Doing your obligations is a joy, and duty well discharged is a joy unto itself. So the discipline is a joy unto itself. Fitness is a joy unto itself, and the whole thing is integrated. So when the mind is exposed to these joys and protected from other distractions, that joy content is such that the mind does not miss anything. That is in the 3 years this principle is demonstrated. In simpler terms, outside of the world, how is it demonstrated? Where the mind voluntarily gives up what turns it on, because it is turned on by something higher. It voluntarily gives up what used to turn it on because it is turned on by something higher. So in that sense, it renounces what it was turned on by because it has embraced something better, which is its mind is turned on with. What is the practical example outside of the academy? Amongst youngsters.
A teenager who used to play games, like I used to play games a lot earlier. Now I don't, because now
Little louder, please. Sorry.
Oh, okay, sure. Like I used to play a lot of video games earlier, but now I don't anymore because I find my work much more fulfilling.
No, you're right, my friend. You're finding work more. So that is it's a natural outgrowing of childish things because you've matured into the better joys of having some responsibility. The general term, but I'm asking a little more specific.
Sir,
youngsters.
Any teenager dedicated suppose he's playing cricket, he's whole day dedicated to cricket. He is not engaged in other things.
If he is wanting to make the national team, if he is wanting to carry the game of cricket to the standard which he can't make the national team or the Ranji team or the state team unless he comes up to speed. So if he wants to do that, he has to undergo a lot of restraint and discipline. Restraint in his other habits, discipline in his other habits, and commitment to understanding the game, its nuances, and the practice. He has to do that. So when he restrains, when he gets up early, he sleeps early, he gets up early, he has to conserve his energy, he has to avoid social media, he can't eat what he wants, he can't drink what he wants. Everything is programmed. So his willingness to follow those restraints comes from his commitment, the mind's commitment that if I have to get there, this is the price I have to pay. In that sense, he renounces his other joys, comforts for that cause which the mind is inspired to reach. But it works only in that spell. What happens after the fellow retires? see, since you're mentioning cricket, I don't have, but somebody should bring the photo of Ravi Shastri when he was a cricketer and photo of Ravi Shastri now that he is a commentator. He is a commentator now, so it doesn't require all those things. So there is a certain amount of sensual indulgence, which is okay with him now. It is not okay then. But he cannot restrain himself now because commenting doesn't require that kind of discipline. So that is the principle, that unless you are established in something bigger than you, you will fall back. The disciplines will fall away. So that is one aspect of it. Okay, but coming back to what was originally said. Originally said is learning to deal with the world as it is. What is the renunciation there? It's an important observation. That's why I'm asking. What is the element of renunciation that is essential for you to accept the world as it is? See, that's why I'm asking. Otherwise, you make generalized statements. Generalized statements are correct because you are repeating what is written in the book or what you heard. They are correct, and not that you're not understood. But you must come to the bottom line.
It is taking up the higher things.
So again, you're using higher thing, my dear. The higher thing, like, yeah, higher things. What is the lower you're shedding? That's what you must question.
No,
That
we
is
are
what
not
I'm
shedding
saying.
anything.
Higher means everything will become higher only now. What is that? It's a relative thing. If you're a lazy fellow, you take up what is it called? You take up activity. Unless you take up activity, you cannot shed laziness. So in terms of laziness, activity is a higher thing. Having taken up activity, then you have to raise the bar further. For what are you becoming active? So you have to shed the selfishness in the action and take up unselfishness. That's how it goes. That is the escalation. The unselfishness is not going to make the cut. So you have to raise the bar to selflessness. That is the hierarchy. But in all this, what is the renunciation? Again, I'm coming back to square one.
The value which we attach to the current objects or beings.
When, my dear, when you ascribe a higher value to something and you wish to achieve that value, you will have to learn to forego what you want now. So as you enjoy the benefit of that higher value, the mind will not complain about what you have to let go. Why we are not able to, without asking, my guess is, are you at correct weight? Sir, embarrassing question. So I forfeit the question. Forget about it.
I'm a bit overweight.
Now, bit overweight means what?
Like by say 10 to 12 kgs.
10 to 12 kilos is, if I give you 5 kilos in each hand, take one 5 kilo dumbbell in one hand, another 5 kilo dumbbell in another hand. How long you'll be able to walk with it? How long will you be able to walk with it? I'm asking.
Not for long,
No, not for long means what? After 30 seconds, you'll drop it. You can walk with it for 10 minutes.
Not 10 minutes, like 5 to 6 minutes.
That is what I'm trying to tell you, my friend, that 5 to 6 minutes you can walk, but your body, which you say is 5 to 10 kilos more, has to handle it for 24/7. No, sir. You understood what I'm saying? Huh? So therefore, why is it that you're not shed the 5 to 10 kilos? See, you are talking higher values, therefore I am not putting you into a corner. We keep repeating higher values. If you apply where we have to apply basic thing, what is the higher value that is missing, that is not causing you any disturbance for being 10 kilos overweight?
Yeah, I'm aware of that, and I'm like putting efforts also. But
No,
like,
if you're putting in effort, congratulations, please put in. But the more you log into the higher value, the more consistent your effort will be. As long as you maintain that higher value, you will feel guilty if you miss out. So, maintaining connection with that higher value is important. But what is the higher value? I am asking. See, this is the point. You're thinking what is the higher value. If you're thinking what is the higher value, where it is applicable to you, you're not able to answer.
Yeah, the higher value in this case will be my ideal body mass index 23, which should be as per my
My
height.
dear, that is not the higher value. That is what you should achieve. But you know your body mind index. You're not achieving it because you're not motivated to achieve it. When you sit at the table and the biryani is there, your body mass index goes to hell. Biryani takes priority. No. Not that you don't know.
Sir, in this
What
case,
is the higher value?
sir,
Yes.
To function at my optimum, so that I can function physically.
My dear, unless you have higher value, you cannot function at optimum. This is what I am trying to tell you. So you're paying lip service to this concept of higher value. I am 80 years old, sir. At the age of 80, the trouser I wore at my wedding is the trouser I fit into today. My weight at my wedding is the weight I have today. I have got my wedding trouser. Anytime I can wear it. It's the same. It is 32 inches waist. After 50 years of marriage, it is still 32 inches waist. When what is it called? That somebody has given me the smartwatch, they tell me my biological age is 80, but they tell me my metabolical age is 62. That's what they say. I don't know. So what is the higher value which is missing? This is what I'm asking.
Sir, which is not giving you pleasure. That is higher value. Otherwise.
How can higher value not give you pleasure, my friend? If higher value doesn't give you pleasure, you will never embrace it, no?
Right.
Because one minute. The reason you want to embrace a higher value is the promise of a higher pleasure, no? Otherwise, why will you take up a higher value? That is why people don't want to come to Vedanta, because they don't understand the value of intellect. Because they don't understand value of intellect, you don't take it up because you don't appreciate the value of a higher value. It is called a higher value because it gives you a higher degree of satisfaction. It gives you a higher degree of comfort in life. That's why it is called a higher value. How can you not take up a higher value? It's a contradiction in terms. If it's not going to give you happiness, why should you take up higher value? You should not take it.
so can the higher value be that I want to be fit so that I can society?
No. If you want to see, my dear, please listen to me. I'm sorry, I should be a little more patient. Fault is mine. Fault is not yours. The mind is a tricky animal. The mind itself wants to be fit. There is no doubt about it. If you ask your mind, do you want to be fit? Of course it wants to be fit. Do you want to remain fat? No, I don't want to be fat. Do you want to be fit? Yes, I want to be fit. So your mind will tell you this. But when it comes to the dining table, it throws this thing out and it wants the biryani. The biryani and the fitness are opposed to each other. They are contrary indicated. But when it comes crunch time, the biryani wins the hope. So it is the mind that wants the biryani and it's the mind that wants to be fit. So how much you want to be fit? 10 on 10 as far as your thing is concerned. How much you want the biryani? No, I want the biryani. The mind is like that. So what is the higher value?
So higher value is the stronger intellect.
No, unless you have an intellect, you will not be able to resolve this. But for the intellect to make that mind cooperative, the intellect must introduce the mind to something which will enable it to refrain from the biryani and plug for the respect. What is that?
The appropriate sacrifice.
I'm sorry?
The right sacrifice.
No, for the mind to make the right sacrifice, it must cooperate with the sacrifice. No, everybody knows what is the sacrifice required. Your mind itself knows, but when it comes to crunch time, it does not cooperate. That is what the point is, no, sir.
Desire for that higher.
Who's, 1 minute. Who is speaking?
Sorry, Momita.
Momita is speaking. Momita, my dear, at any given time, you have a certain agenda for yourself. That this is what I would, these are some boxes I want to tick, this is how I want to live. Correct? You have agenda for yourself, no? With reference to yourself. This is the standard by which, at which I want to function. No? This is the disciplines that I want to maintain. Is it not? You have it. Everybody has. Your mind is reluctant to buy into it. Your mind itself says, yes, these are the things we should do. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
But when it comes to the point of experience, you make compromise, no?
Yes.
So when it comes to you know that you should not leave things unfinished. You understand that finish the job of the day. But when it comes to point of time, aaj karega, kal karega, so you procrastinate.
Yes.
Your mind wants to procrastinate. It doesn't want to procrastinate, but it procrastinates because that's your tamas wins and the desire to get rid of it loses. You follow. So what I'm trying to say, so this is, we are not able to do it because our what will inspire the mind despite its present need is not strong enough. You're not introducing that mind to that inspiration. So when it comes to body, what is required? What is the higher value required for the body?
Good health.
Service.
No, good health you want, but you don't want to pay the price for it. That is the problem.
Exercise.
Mind wants good health. You don't want to pay price for it. That is the problem.
The higher value.
Everybody has missed the bus because you're not calibrating. What you should eat or what you should not eat according to that value. Which, if you awaken, the chances are that mind will say no. I no to the biryani. What is that?
The higher value can be any form of service, working for the community, working for the nation.
What?
The higher value can be any form of service.
My dear, any form of service, how it will help you with respect to biryani, man?
Because for the service, you need a fit body.
I appreciate that, but the general thing, but for the body itself, what you're missing out is ingratitude. You have not learned to look at that body as a God-given miracle. The body is the homeostasis of the body. Homeostasis means there are so many organs and so many functions of the body which are looking after themselves, by themselves, adjusting themselves by themselves. You know not what is happening. What is happening within you physiologically, you are not aware of because everything is functioning with military perfection. You are not aware. Are you aware you got a pancreas? You are aware you have a spleen? You are aware that there is a liver? You are aware that there is circulation is taking place? You are aware digestion taking? Nothing you are aware of. It's just happening behind the scenes, sight unseen, no questions asked. It is doing what it is doing because it is a miracle. You should be aware of that. And then why, if you are aware of that, Why are you insulting the lung? Why are you insulting your digestive system? Why are you insulting the kidney and its processing system? Why are you insulting the liver? Why are you insulting your pancreas? Why are you insulting your cardiovascular system? Why are you insulting the lubrication of your joints? Why are you insulting? You're not looking at it like that. Every morsel of food, is it of assistance to my liver or is it an encumbrance on my liver? Are you looking at it like that? You're not looking at it like that. That is the higher value. Ingratitude. Gratitude is the value. Knowledge of its miracle and surrender to that miracle, that is the value. How can I abuse this? How can I abuse this miracle which is called the heart? How can I abuse this miracle which is called the kidney? It is doing extraordinary amount of processing. Extraordinary. How can I abuse this miracle called homeostasis, where everything functions on its own without asking any question? How can I abuse it? It's ingratitude. You do not have gratitude. That is the higher value that is missing. And if your mind is aware of gratitude, will you muck it up? When you go to somebody's house and he's a gracious host and he or she has gone out of his way to make your life comfortable, at that point of time, you're aware of what has been provided. At that point of time, will you abuse that person's hospitality by asking for this, that, and the other? Will you complain about some little thing that is missing? I'm asking you.
Not at all.
Therefore, you don't have gratitude, sir. That is the value required. That is what I'm trying to tell you. What is the idea of saying higher value, higher value, higher value? Which higher value? It is like saying all problems are because of ego. Which form of ego is victimizing you? That is the problem. The higher value is an omnibus general statement. In that general statement, you have to be specific. But ingratitude is the cause of all disturbance. If you have gratitude, what will happen?
I'll be more careful about what I eat, when do I get up, whether I exercise or not. Like that.
Exactly, that is in this. You will calibrate that I cannot insult this gift that I have been given unasked. You asked for it, you got a body. Along with that came the miracle of it. You follow. So it comes to you. So you will not abuse it if you have gratitude. If you are ingratitude, you treat it whimsical manner. Why will anybody insult the Lord? There is no gratitude. What I am trying to say is that the person insulting the Lord is not an ungrateful person. See, today I go to the club, and today everywhere smoking is, broadly speaking, not allowed. So there are only some areas available for non-smokers. In an open area, if you want to smoke, you're allowed to smoke there. In an enclosed area, otherwise smoking is out of consideration for others. You're not allowed to smoke. Still, I find, and you will find, that there are young men understandable, but there are young ladies who are prim and fit. They're okay. If you look at them, obviously they look after themselves. They're prim and fit, and perhaps their personalities are also kind, and a lot of kindness and value in that personality. Maybe good friend, but periodically they step out with kindred spirit and they exchange pleasantries or whatever it is over a smoke. They smoke, and then they finish the smoke and they go back. So that person is not ungrateful. You can't say that person is ungrateful in general. He or she may be extraordinarily helpful in many areas in life. Why is she smoking? Because in that area, the gratitude, she has not looked at her body through the filter of gratitude. So she looks at the body with, she attempts to be fit. She's doing yoga, she's doing this, she's doing that. And self-cancelling action with cigarette, with smoking, insulting the lung. There's a lady I know, she used to go to the Taj for the, what is it called, yoga. She was trim and fit. She at the age of 70, 80, she was still only 50, 55 kilos. Everything is there. Never gave up smoking. Finally, she got cancer. After she got cancer, the doctor, what to do? The doctor, you don't do anything. What shall I give up smoking? No, don't give up smoking. You might as well smoke and finish it up. She died because of the cigarette. Ingratitude. You have to apply it 360 degrees. So if you have gratitude, what will happen? What is the value of gratitude?
We give up the
General
lower.
value of gratitude.
I'll start respecting the current bodies, and I'll start respecting my meal time, food quality.
No, that is if you apply it to your health, if you apply your discipline for, what is it called, for bringing your body up to speed through the filter of gratitude. Yes, you will accelerate your what is it called? You will accelerate your rehabilitation. I can assure you that in about 6 months' time, you will be fit. And not only will you be fit in 6 months' time, but you will have an aversion to insulting it tomorrow. I used to have a sweet tooth. I still have a sweet tooth. But if you put cakes and biscuits in front of me, it doesn't turn me on at all, because it's a reference to the body. The body can't tolerate all this. So therefore, why should I eat it? So it doesn't turn me on. At one time, it should turn me on. It doesn't turn me on. There's a specific thing. But I'm making more omnibus observation. If you have gratitude in general towards the gifts of nature and of grace, as it were, what will happen?
You see everyone as you look at yourself.
I don't know what you mean by that statement. It's a double-edged statement. I don't know what you mean by it. See, the problem is when we see ourselves, we see ourselves as what we are, and that's our swabhav, that's our nature. So you want other people to mirror this nature of yours. This is a perverse observation. So I don't know what you mean.
No, what I meant is
But
that
you don't mean that. You don't mean that.
In as much as
what you meant is that I should not do unto others what I would not have them do unto me.
No, not even that.
I don't know.
I'm saying you are what you are, so is somebody else what they are. So it's not that I'm imposing my characteristics on the other person, nor do I want.
Yes. So what is the element of renunciation? That comes back to the square one question. What is the key to renunciation? What is it that renunciation means? Shedding. In one sense, to renounce something is to shed it. But in our case, we shed it because we have grown into a higher dimension. That's why we shed the lower one. So what is it that you have shed is what I'm asking. Earlier on, you said that take the world as it is. Correct, objectivity. What is it you have shared?
I've shared my ingratitude.
Now you're shifting, you're putting words here and there. If you have gratitude, you will shed something, but that's either you answer one question or the other. when we take the world for what it is, to embrace the world what it is and not how we want it to be. If we are able to do that, it is a high degree of renunciation. In the context of renunciation, you have shed something. What is it that you have shed?
We shed
Expectation.
our
Sarah, what is it that people have shed?
You've shed your ego or your egocentric way of seeing things or
Correct.
doing things.
You have shed your egocentricity. That is what you have shed. If you embrace that, if you are capable of looking at somebody's selfishness and his perverse and boorish behavior and not take offense at it, you understand that that is his nature under certain circumstances. That is how he behaves. But that is how life is. If you are able to embrace that without taking offense at it, and then after not taking offense at it, if you have to deal with it, you deal with it with compassion. In that exercise, you shed your ego. That on my watch, how can a person like that say something like that? You have shed your ego. So that is the bottom line. The quintessence of renunciation, where renunciation means shedding, letting go, is I, me, and mine. Full stop. And you shed. Why do you shed I, me, and mine? In deference to what?
when we recognize how much we are already getting from the world, the miracle of life.
Correct. So you shed it in deference to a higher wisdom. So the higher wisdom is what? What you're saying is also correct. That will come in a minute. You shed it in deference to higher wisdom. Higher wisdom is what?
Vedanta.
Correct. It is actually speak. Vedanta means higher wisdom means you shed it to the wisdom behind life. There is a divinity that shapes our ends. Life is designed in a particular way. In that design of life, there is a place for everything. There is a place for construction, destruction, and maintenance. In that design of life, there is a place for inequity and equity. There is a place for inspirational activity, and there is a place for debasement of the human spirit. That is how life is designed. Inequity in life there shall be. This is how life is designed. But woe unto him who is cause of it. So there are checks and balances against it. That is how life is designed. So each person is a helpless expression of his own nature. That is life's design. So when you are willing to embrace this design without cavilling and without complaint, you require to abase your ego. That is renunciation. You renounce your ego to the higher wisdom of life. But that higher wisdom of life brings on your plate injustice and betrayal. Now that injustice and betrayal has come on your plate, you use that as a platform to grow stronger, wiser, and warmer. That is growth. To enable that growth, you must abase your ego. This is renunciation. Now somebody wants to ask a question, you ask. Bottom line of renunciation, as you have covered in the book, is abasement of ego. That's the bottom line.
So to
So
some
when
degree,
gentleman mentioned objectivity, he mentioned taking things as they are. It is being objective. But to take things as they are without feeling bitter inside. Where is the gentleman? What is the name? Sorry, I'm not familiar. After becoming familiar also, I forget the name. So don't take offense.
Deepraj, sir.
Huh?
Deepraj.
Kalyan.
No, it was Deep Raj.
Kalyan. Kalyan
It was
Kumar.
Kalyan.
So many,
Kalyan.
yeah, hi. So what was I saying? The point is, what I was saying is, my friend, you are taking things as they are, but how frustrated do you feel? How impatient do you feel? That is the audit you must do. Put yourself on the screen again. See, you're working somewhere, no? My friend, you're working somewhere, no?
Vipra, it's you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You're working somewhere, right?
Yes.
So when you work somewhere, you have to tolerate people, no?
Yes.
And the biggest fellow you have to tolerate is your boss.
Yes.
Correct? And the boss thinks that he's cat's whiskers. No? You understand? So you have to tolerate the joker.
Yes.
You follow. So, but you know that you better learn where to keep your mouth shut and where to speak.
Yes.
You better learn how to control your tongue. You follow.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll create friction. So, in that
Yes.
sense, this is how your environment in your workplace functions. So you have to jockey yourself and adjust to it. No, but even as you're adjusting to it externally, how frustrated or impatient are you internally? That is the question. So that is something you have to ask yourself. You follow. So to the extent you can accommodate that with no impatience and no frustration, to that extent you abase your ego. Otherwise, you're holding it inside here and smiling outside there, because if you don't smile outside there, you'll be out of job. Or what to do, you follow. So that is not renunciation. Then you become scarred, you become fatigued, and you say, I want out. You follow?
Yes.
So the practical aspect of renunciation is that in any environment you are in just now, it requires a certain amount of restraint and patience. Ensure that your impatience and your frustrations and your resentments are gone out of understanding. Once they are gone, you won the battle. If they are not gone, what left?
I will fall into a frenzy.
Huh?
I will fall into a frenzy. I'll get frustrated.
No, if they are not gone, you will say enough is enough and you leave the job. No?
Yes.
If you have the option, you leave the job. You follow.
Yeah.
If somebody gives a better offer, you leave, or less offer, you leave the job. You understand? But when you leave that job, the ego you brought into the job is the ego you carry with it in the next job. So therefore, what the life gave you an opportunity in the restraints and inequities of this job to abase your ego and grow in wisdom, and to grow in patience and increase the bandwidth of your empathy. It gave you opportunity now. No? You missed it. So that same immaturity you're going to carry into the next experience. How is it going to help you? You follow. So all this restraint that you show, it has got no value. So in this, at any given time, the wisdom of life is that it gives us nice things and it gives us unpleasant things. Unpleasant situation, unpleasant. So in that unpleasant situation is the opportunity for you to actually grow. And growth is what?
Effacement of the ego.
Abasement of your ego, correct. Is to abase your ego and embrace that. But when you embrace that, that does not mean you embrace somebody's absence of culture. That doesn't mean you embrace his uncouth, vulgar language. That's not what it means. You don't embrace. You don't start also giving gali. That's not what it means. It understands that the fellow has got hubris. He will speak like that. So you're able to accommodate it. But at the same time, it doesn't mean you allow these things to just occur. So you embark on a program as far as you are concerned of maturity and showing patience, and where required taking a stand. All these things you do because it needs to be done. But you do it because the situation, for the betterment of the situation, that discipline or taking that stand is required. At the end of the day, mischief thou art afoot, now take thou what cost thou. What is a serenity prayer? Anybody? Simple thing it is. Everybody knows. What is serenity prayer?
To accept what I cannot change.
Serenity prayer is, Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. If you are able to tick all these three boxes, you are in a very high degree of renunciation, abasement of ego. So accepting the things you cannot change is abasement of ego. It means without getting frustrated at them. That is the meaning of acceptance. In India, what is the divorce rate? Cycle, Arun cycle as
20%.
Arun cycle is what we've been. We know each other.
Yeah, divorce rate is very low.
Sorry?
Divorce rate is very low, sir. Divorce rate is almost negligible, very low in India.
I'm sorry, the disturbance outside. What did you say?
Your question was, what is the divorce rate in India?
What is divorce rate in India?
I don't have the statistics, but I would say almost negligible.
You don't have statistics? 2%, man.
Okay. 2%.
That means if you remove the non-westernized Indians, 2%.
Okay.
Westernized Indians, we are playing catch up with their divorce rate. You follow? So divorce rate in your parents' generation, and I'm sorry to say, but in present children generation are different. Statistics are different. So in 2%, 2% means 98% having happy marriage.
Not necessary.
Not necessarily means not happily married.
Correct.
You follow? So they are just surviving. मुंह खोलने में कुछ फायदा नहीं. आप समझ गए? मुंह खोलने में फायदा. What is the use of all this? So they just survive. So give me the serenity to accept what I cannot change does not mean that you are doormat and what to do, then you become sterile. Your emotions become sterile. So either they're hostile or they're sterile. You lost मजा निकल गया life में now. Survive. This is not the meaning of accepting. You must remain vibrant at all times. There's a different angle to this serenity. But anyway, grant me the serenity to accept that which cannot change. Which I cannot change means no impatience and intolerance with it. This is how it is. And the courage to change the things I can. What is it you can change?
Myself.
Correct. So you take the bull by the horn, you take the courage to change yourself. To increase the bandwidth of your identification, to increase the bandwidth of your patience, to increase the bandwidth of your fortitude, to increase the bandwidth of your tolerance. You change that, correct. That you take the bull by the horn. When you do this, your footprint in life in others will be positive. And in the fullness of time, you will be instrument in their change. So it's not that we should not do anything about trying to help, but it takes its own time. So it is not either or. Arunji, by the time you taught somebody with all the patience and all the empathy, somebody is your junior or somebody, you brought him up to speed, and now he's a better person, more efficient person, more kinder person than when he came to you. You taught him everything. And then what happens? Then what happens? By the time you taught him, he's left you. He says, thank you very much, now he goes. Aap samajh gaya? So all your investment you follow has come to zero and somebody new has come, you have to start from scratch. Aap samajh gaya? How you feel about that? If you feel disappointed, if you feel disappointed at it, ego has got better of you.
Yeah.
You follow. If you are blessed with somebody who's come well trained and well educated, and you hardly have to tell him anything and he does everything, you follow. So you're happy with it. Whose tapas are you enjoying?
Someone else's.
Huh?
Someone else's tapas. Not
Which
mine.
you don't know, no? Which you don't
I don't
know. So therefore, you have to enjoy somebody else's tapas, and your tapas, when it goes, you are throwing tantrum. The ego. You follow. When Swamiji, the servants, etc., who come, Swamiji makes, what is it called? Give them homes. So home is not tin roof, proper RCC home, 1 or 2 bedrooms and attached bathroom, and everything is brought up to speed. They are quite willing to go outside in the field. He said no going out in the field, running toilet and what is it called, proper bathroom. He does that. When does he do it? When does he do it? I'm asking. After 10 years of service, 15 years of service, when does he do it?
Yeah, I think service is irrelevant as long as.
Sorry?
I mean, the length of service is irrelevant, I suppose. I mean, if
he does it as soon as they
as
become permanent or semi-permanent, he does it.
Yeah.
You follow? And once the house is built, then what he does? He keeps the house in his name, in the academy name. Once the house is made, he signs the paper over to them. This is your house. You are welcome to stay. Of course, you will stay here, but at this point of time, this is your house. That does not carry with it the obligation that you must give me 5 more years of service. You can go tomorrow. This is renunciation. What is renunciation, sir, in the context? Duties, not rights. When underprivileged person works for you for a wage which is not livable, it is our moral obligation to bring that person up to speed with respect to normal basics, which includes food, kapra, ghar, kapra, or makan, and schooling. These things we have to provide. That has got nothing to do with the wage. This obligation. Having discharged his obligation, there is no carry forward right that that person must give his loyalty to him. This is abasement of ego. The opposite person has the right to fundamental basics of life. Home, schooling, health. He has the right to that. We have to acknowledge that right, but it's our obligation to acknowledge that right and to do what we can to fulfill our duties towards his rights. We do not have the sense of entitlement to expect what we have, having done something, to expect entitlement for what we have done. It is duties, not rights. So you escalate the urge to perform your obligation to its fullest requirement and forfeit. What you forfeit is your entitlement to reciprocity. That is abasement of ego. This is renunciation. I put enough cat amongst the pigeons. Now, next session, next dose is next session. Think about it. Thank you.
Hari Om. Sarji.
Hari Om, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Hari Om, Adiji.
Hari Om.